The biggest ways that we pass down trauma to our children, having come from narcissistic family systems, is marrying a narcissist and creating children with a narcissist. We marry the love that we know, and that happens a lot. But that isn't the number one way that we pass down trauma to our children. The number one way that I see across the board is bubble wrapping them. Creating an environment that is highly controlled, so that controlling behavior, because we need our own stability and security, and we need to feel like we're protecting them at all times. And then also not allowing them the ability to scrape their knees and learn from those scrapes in a safe environment. It's a massive mistake to wrap your children up that way. And another part of that wrapping includes not sharing our childhood experiences with them as is age appropriate, not having open communications, because we don't want them to ever feel bad for mommy or daddy, because we felt responsible for everybody else's emotions, because we were responsible for everybody else's emotions as children growing up. Our survival depended on it. This is not that. Sharing where we come from with our children and creating those bonds through our vulnerability and open communication teaches them to do the same. And it makes that relationship reciprocal as time goes on, not just parent-child. We're not their friends. They're not, they're not our peers, nothing like that. But giving them understanding to what their family history was and where their parents came from, particularly in the landscape of an environment where they may not have those grandparents because you had to cut them out, builds a really strong relationship with your children. That doesn't mean that if you do all that, you're not going to pass down your trauma, because it's going to leak out somewhere, and we're not perfect. We are doing the best we can, as opposed to where we came from, that family doing the best they could to hurt their children and abuse their children, us. We are doing the best we can not to, but it is inevitable that because of the fact that we will forever be healing, trauma lives in our body, triggers are all around us, we are going to do some things in our children's lives that are unhealthy. That could be instability in housing, in relationships, in being inconsistent, in not showing up the way that they deserve us to show up. The most important thing that I can tell you, if you're out there carrying guilt for passing down your trauma, is to release yourself from that and forgive yourself for that, because that also makes your children feel bad and it does you no good. Release yourself from that guilt and stand up and apologize to your children. Acknowledge and have open